Hi guys, welcome to the Friday Night League of Ireland betting preview with me, Vincent Mulligan for ScottishFootballTips.com. There are a couple of very big games in the League of Ireland Premier Division this evening. Dundalk host St Patrick's Athletic and Shamrock Rovers host Cork City. I'm going to look at both of those games in a little bit, but first of all, I'm going to go to where I think the bet of the evening comes from, and that's Galway Utd v Drogheda United. Drogheda have made a very good start to this year's Premier Division. They've got 2 wins under the belt, and that puts them in an unexpected top 4 position alongside the other 3 teams still in maximum points. Now, there's not a cat's chance in hell that Drogheda will remain there for the rest of the season, but their big victory last week over Sligo, that'll give them some hope of a top 6 finish, and that would be an excellent achievement for the Drogs this season. Last season, you may remember they got off to a fairly similar start. They beat eventual champions Dundalk 4-1 in the first game of the season at Hunky Dory Park. They then remained unbeaten for the next 5 games, but their form petered out eventually. The next 14 games saw just 2 victories with a lot of hammerings along the way, most notably 7-0 away to local rivals Dundalk. Last season they were a great side for goals backers, and the way they've started this season suggests that it could be a vein worth mining again. Tonight they travel to Galway side. Galway didn't compete last week at all away to Bohemians last Friday night. They had barely a shot on target, and that suggests to me that Tommy Dunn had set his troops out to frustrate Bohs. It didn't work in the end. They conceded a second goal late in the second half and eventually lost the game 2-0. Tonight, at home in Eamon Darcy Park, they'll be expected to be a lot more adventurous. If Galway are to maintain Premiership status this season, they're going to have to be adventurous at home to the Also-Rans. They are going to be must-win games for them. I expect tonight to be an open affair, and I think both teams getting on the score sheet has an excellent chance of occurring tonight. You can back both teams to score at 1.91, that's 10 to 11, with Paddy Power and Carroll, and I think that's worth a shot. It's also a price that I expect to drop as we get closer to kick-off. I think that could go off at maybe 1.84 to 5, or even as low as 1.73, 8 to 11. Now, the Dundalk v Pats, big crunch game early in the season for the 2 of the early season favourites, and I expect big crowds to turn out tonight in Oriel Park and Tala. From a betting point of view, I think they're both very difficult to call. I did say last season that Dundalk at even money should be backable any time, and that was the case for the most part last season. Now, the only game where I excluded that theory from my thinking was when Dundalk played at home to Pats, and I would stick to that for this evening. Dundalk are currently 2.5, that's 6 to 4, and that will tempt a lot of people, but that's probably just a little bit below what they actually should be. Pats, they're 2 to 1. Again, that will tempt other people as well. But again, I would say that's probably just about the price they should be heading into tonight's game. Considering Dundalk have lost just once at home in 26 Premier Division matches, it's not a bet that would tempt me tonight at all. In terms of goals, I think both big games tonight could be under 2.5 goals. But the prices on offer, they're very off-putting, so I wouldn't be tempted to back them. Dundalk have drawn 0-0 just twice in the last 2 seasons. One of those games was the last time the sides met at Oriel Park. And again, I think something similar could occur tonight, but I wouldn't be willing to back a lack of goals on the prices available. At least in Oriel Park, you should see 2 teams committed to entertaining football with a fluid passing game, but they might just cancel each other out tonight. Unfortunately, the same can't really be said in Tala. Cork fans may not appreciate me saying this, but they're definitely getting a bit of a reputation for being a long ball team. What should that matter, right? If it brings success, what does it matter? But against a team like Shamrock Rovers, I expect Rovers to be set up to be able to deal with that kind of threat very capably. Now, we all know what to expect from Pat Fenlon's teams. They'll be very tight, hard to break down, with the emphasis definitely on defence. So this game is likely to be a very low-scoring affair. Again, the prices on offer for under 2.5 goals are absolutely brutal. With Carroll as low as 1.5, that's 1 to 2, and that wouldn't tempt me at all. I might just have a wee punt at Brian Gartland to score first in the Dundalk v Pats match. With it likely to be a tight affair, I think a set piece could be the way the deadlock is broken, and Gartland is definitely the man for that. He's as low as 11 to 1 with Boyle Sports to score first, which gives you an indication of the centre-half back's goal-scoring abilities. But you can get 20 to 1 with Betfair, Carroll and Ladbrokes, and I would think there's a wee bit of value in that price for me. Also, tomorrow night, look out for Bohs. I will definitely be backing them in some respects. I'm currently looking at them to win 2-0. That's to win without conceding, not win by a score of 2-0. That's currently priced at 3.1, 21 to 10 with Ladbrokes, and that's quite tempting at the moment. Bray Wanderers haven't scored yet this season. Bohs haven't conceded yet this season, so there's a good chance that that could come off. You could also back them just to win outright at 1.95. That's 19 to 20. That's a price worth looking at as well. Okay, make sure to head over to ScottishFootballTips.com, where you can see more previews and a good preview on tonight's Motherwell v Hamilton match, the Lanarkshire Derby. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye.